Everybody, blessings, blessings, blessings. Happy Turkey Day to y'all who celebrate. To everyone else, here I am, the guy that said it to you straight. Now, Kenyon Martin goes viral for Draymond responding back to his disrespect. And Dre should have said nothing. But because he opened his mouth, he thought he was being respectful. It got spun around and dumped on his head. Right? So now he felt it was only right that he keep going. You feel me? He think it's only right he keeps going down this road. What's up, Jamil? I think Gil was saying on his show, I don't think we should talk about it on Tuesday on the show. Really? That's all y'all gonna talk about on the show. Y'all gonna lead the show off with it. Like I said, more BS for the program. So with all of that going down and transpiring, you had other people make their observations to the situation. Right? Like, how could this be? All this conflict and noise is going on. How could all of this just be? Right? All this noise. All this complaining. Right? How is all this going down? Don't even make sense for this to be happening like this. It's just on my last nerve. On my last nerve. That's what they say. So with that in play, you start looking into what transpired. He goes at it with Nick Young. You see, Nick Young is somebody we know quite well from hearing him talk, giving his thoughts on situations and things of that matter. Here, he was forced to be devil's advocate. And when you're forced to be devil's advocate about a situation you care nothing about, it comes off from a person that doesn't, partake in such activities. You can tell and look and see that he wasn't really comfortable in this whole argument because he didn't know anything of what he was speaking. And he was just playing devil's advocate, basically trying to defend Draymond Green in the situation, as Gilbert Arenas doesn't want to participate in that because he knows this affects his position with Draymond, and this could hurt his ass kissing marathon. He don't want that disturbed in no way, shape, or form. Do he want his ass kissing marathon disturbed? No. Can't have that. So Yes, it was staged. I'm ashamed of Kenyon Martin right now. I really am. I'm ashamed of him. And the reason I'm ashamed of Kenyon Martin is because it's like, first of all, dog, you haven't had the type of career to sit there and dictate like you was the man. You were a tough player. You led the league in flagrant fouls at one point. They were like, Kenyon Martin should be on the Pistons. Don't you remember that? I do. Kenyon Martin should be on the Detroit Pistons. Then when you were a Piston, it was right where you belong. You were outlawed. You were hated. You was misunderstood. Remember? So misunderstood. Grossly taken for granted. But what in the world did we say about all that? Did we hold anything against you? No. Did we say he's a bad guy? No. Did we say you was a fake tough guy? What's a real non-fake tough guy then? That's what I want to know. If Draymond's the fake tough guy, what is the tough guy supposed to do? I'm like, yo, balls back down to beef stew. A lot of people back down to beef stew. LeBron James back down to beef stew. So saying, why don't he just go at Isaiah Stewart? Draymond's not a fool. Being a tough guy don't make you a fool. You tough when your team needs you to be tough. As far as basketball, homie. This is basketball, not fighting. This dude keep talking like he getting into a fight. The bad boy Pistons used to say that all the time because back then you had the newspaper. It wasn't the internet. So y'all young folks might not get this. But we would read the papers and they'll interview other teams like the Pistons are coming to town. And they'll go, man, I don't care about them Pistons coming to town. Like, I ain't afraid of them. And we'll fight them if we got to. And the Pistons would laugh and go, game over. Because, see, you're not talking about playing basketball. You're talking about fighting. You're not going to win. Your mind is so thinking about throwing punches till you forget it's about playing the game. Kenyon Martin, a good player? Yes, he was a good, solid addition. But he's a guy that's got to play with a great point guard. I don't remember Kenyon Martin really doing anything in the pros as far as leading a team. He was great as an additional piece, but I just can't recall him being the dominant player that he, claims that he was. He was an all-star that one year, but I don't see him as that guy that, he sees himself as. I'm really flabbergasted by it. Like, where do you see yourself at in this picture? Being what? Nah, bro. You're not that. it's hard. It's heartbreaking sometimes because what you see for other people, they don't see for themselves. And that's where it gets a little, off the rails. Where you can see for other people, things may be a problem. Now, there was this one guy. His name was Linnell. And he thought when he played in high school, he was the best. It was him and another guy. But he knew I'm better than him because I'm tougher. Right? So Linnell was great. Played 2 sports, basketball and football. Linnell said, I'm going to go into football because the draft be funny. And I might not get drafted. So he plays football. Goes into the draft. Gets drafted. Gets cut. Picked up on a practice squad a couple of times. He was tough. Jumped up in players' faces, challenged people, and they cut him. Because what he forgot about was the actual game. These other guys weren't just good in their area. They were all-time greats. Everybody was a pro at every level. And he was no longer the big fish where he came from. He was this small. So Linnell didn't play so tough. When it was time to step up and play the game, he was just tough with his mouth and his actions. See, Kenyon Martin and everybody has y'all fooled. They're capitalizing off of your stupidity. Kenyon Martin is building his name up, doing stuff he don't do. This is not Kenyon Martin at all. All of this talking and I made a list and here 200 people better than you. It's like that's not even what Kenyon Martin do. He don't do stuff for the internet. It's not his game. So I'm like, what is Kenyon Martin doing right now? It's so bizarre to me because I'm like, who is this guy right now? I don't know him. I completely don't know who this dude is. Like his demeanor and the way he carries himself is not like that. So to see him do that is baffling. It's like The Godfather Part 2. You know how The Godfather brother came in and he took a look at dude finna testify against Michael in court. And he in the courtroom sitting with the prosecution. His brother comes in and see him and looks at him in total confusion like, huh? That's how I looked at Kenyon Martin. Totally disappointed in him. Extremely disappointed in him. Who is that saying they finna hit me up later? He's like, I'll hit you up later. Who is that? Oh, yes. The video is up on the Patreon. The Laker scandal that's going on right now is live and kicking. It's on my Patreon. It's got LeBron, Bronny, and Austin Reeves in a scandal. They trying to keep it all under the rug. It's been leaking out for the last 3 days. Been like little drips. So I had to get ahead of it quick. Before next thing you know, I'll be talking about something that's everywhere. So it's on the Patreon right now. Oh, Ray J doing, you mean Ray J being Ray J, an emotional female. That sounds about right. Yeah, so when this situation happened, like I said, it's Nick Young, bro. It's Nick Young's situation all over again. Do Kenyon Martin forget when he was in the league, you could throw punches at each other? You could throw punches when you played, Kenyon Martin. You could punch a guy in the face like you did Corey Maggette. Because Corey Maggette was killing you on the court. Another player you weren't better than. And you punched the guy, took off, and hit a guy because he was schooling you on the basketball court. That's not a tough guy. That's a punk. That's a punk move. And if you don't believe me, just go back and watch the play. That's a punk move. It's not a real man move. The move was so great that he kept doing on you. They named that move. It's a play now. The Maggette cut. I never heard of the Kenyon Martin cut nowhere. Now, if you say I was an enforcer, okay, you was an enforcer. You scored some points. You was tough for your team. But your toughness didn't lead to championships. Your toughness didn't matter when you went up against somebody like Kobe Bryant. Your toughness melted away when you couldn't match up against Robert Horry. I'm like, Robert Horry? Ooh. So it's like, what are we really talking about? It's like all this rewriting of history. To say Kenyon Martin was the main reason we got to the NBA Finals is some insanity. And this is only due to the podcast era. The podcast era made this a reality, folks. That's all. This type of behavior is nowhere but the podcast world, where you can rewrite history, baby. Was Kenyon Martin a bad boy? Yes. Like I told you, him and Draymond statistically is about the same, except for Draymond can do more on a team than Kenyon Martin. Draymond leads the team. He's the point guard of the team. He's the point forward. Now, y'all hold LeBron on a pedestal. This is the guy that had to guard LeBron. He's the guy calling out defensive sets when Golden State defense was up there near the top in the league, as well as their offense. He don't get any credit for that? But it's about toughness and who would step to who. Who stepped to Draymond that Draymond didn't address? Y'all play in two different eras of basketball. As you can see, Draymond normally gets into situations when he's defending teammates. You get into situations because you're getting schooled, you can't take it, now you just want to fight. 40-year-old Mike gave you 40. Then you said, oh my back, oh my back, oh my back. Wizards Jordan gave you 40. Well, no, he ain't gonna go in with Ron Artest. Who gonna go at it with Ron? You must be in a straitjacket if you go at it with Ron Artest. And in today's game, you're really asking for it. You see how that works? Listen to what you said. You said you was Kenyon Martin's biggest fan a few days ago. You said he's so good for these talk shows. What has changed there? You must have just gotten here. Let me rewind it back to earlier in this video. I am very disappointed in Kenyon Martin. This is not Kenyon Martin. Kenyon Martin making a list talking about 200 greatest players. I am disappointed in Kenyon Martin because this is not him. This activity and doing stuff for clicks and views, that ain't Kenyon Martin. So to see him do that got me shaking my head in disbelief because I can't believe it. Kenyon Martin would be stooping so low as to do this type of activity. So now that should clarify it for you. Because it's hypocritical. You played in two different leagues. If Draymond was to punch somebody on the court, he knocked out Poole, not because he chose Poole to knock out. Practice got that hot, and Poole got a big mouth. And he loved running his mouth off. When all three players don't like you, you got a problem. Steph don't like you, Clay don't like you, and Draymond don't like you. You got a problem. You ain't gonna be that long. Once they won the championship, it was like throwing gas on fire. It went through the roof. But everybody focused on Dre because Dre's the only one to take off on him in practice. And they say that Draymond ruined the Warriors. Nah, he didn't. He exposed Poole for being a fake, modern, tough guy. I told you, every time I've told you this before Kenyon Martin, the whole nine, I said Draymond has never walked away from a fight. Since a kid in Saginaw, Michigan, that guy would be running off at the mouth on the basketball court, get knocked out, and still be talking. But he was there. Dre used to run off at the mouth on the court. Somebody would knock him out. He'd be on the ground, lip busted, and running his mouth. Man, my sister hit harder than that. Dre gonna still be talking. So my thing is, what does it matter? Because what Swaggy P did was try to play devil's advocate to keep this thing going because they want to get some hits on the show. Because, see, they went viral really outside of the show. Kenyon addressed him on his own social media thing, then everybody jumped on board. Everybody and their mama got in line and said, "Ooh, I want a piece of that. I need that." And once they did, everything went left. But let me tell you this and be clear about it. I want to be real clear about this. That was fake. Everything you saw on that show was fake. His fake anger with Kenyon Martin, with Swaggy P, those dudes are neighbors. Okay? They're neighbors. They got a lot of push before all you stupid people before from biting into it. Gil told me himself. Gilbert Arenas told me himself that nothing's gonna happen on the show because it's basically fake. Those dudes are neighbors. They ride to the show together sometimes. Like, they're neighbors. This is not gonna, no. This is not gonna be one of those situations like y'all think it is. They're neighbors. The whole show is fake. Pretty much. I can't endure a whole show. So I couldn't even make it through the clip because I'm watching Swaggy P try to give a shit about something he doesn't. And he's just like, I'm just saying, man. And Kenyon Martin acting like the bully on the show. Like he just gonna beat everybody up and all that. He picking and choosing, who he gonna fight, right? Because he know half of them dudes up there is cupcake. I don't really know about Rashad McCants. I don't take McCants as anything fake. BJ, love BJ's game, but BJ is really, he's in a whole different space. Like BJ's the type I believe would shoot you than anything rather than fight. To me, it's different. I don't know who or where anybody came from. All that crap. But it got everybody talking, and that's all they cared about. Oh yeah, I've been on fire with my picks. I knew that I knew what was headed. Right. I knew where everything was headed towards. So that's what I'm saying. Why I knew where things were headed. That's what I meant. Yeah, it is like that, man. It's like when you have somebody who is on that level, you know what I'm saying, as far as being put in a situation to win or lose. Most of these guys don't know or understand. You said they still lying. Pretty much. It was relatively crazy at that point. No. Yeah, I mean, no, that's real. Gail told me that before this whole fake thing. Remember Nick Young and Kenyon had a beef before and it blew all the way up and everybody was all excited? That's what the whole push was. So happy Thanksgiving to all y'all, man. Appreciate that. The Pistons got cheated last night out of the game. But it was the tournament game. I knew that they would cheat them. That would be the game they would do it. And it wasn't supposed to be that close. We actually fought back because Boston is a stupid team. So, anyway, I'm out. God bless.